Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. It's time to turn it up and let the music flow. Step behind the curtain, take a front row seat. Talking rock and roll, got the stories on repeat. From classic hits to brand new sound, we're digging deep where legends are found. The show, let's go. Dr. Rock's backstage pass. Yes, yeah. We're talking concerts, riffs, and tracks. From past to present, the music lasts. Turn it up, let's have a blast. Let's play. From vinyl spins to streaming waves, chart toppers, deep cuts, the songs that stay. If you've got a band, let's hear your sound. Songs that stay. If you've got a band, let's hear your sound. We'll crank it up and break it down. Let's rock, let's rock. It's time for the show, let's go. Dr. Rock's backstage pass. We're talking concerts, riffs, and tracks. From past to present, the music lasts. Turn it up, let's have a blast. Let's party. What's your favorite? What's the best show? What's the top track? Let's roll it back. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Dr. Rock's backstage pass. Let's ride. Music memories come alive. New tunes, old grooves. Showtime.
Filling up as you're pissing.
Oh yeah,
that's what I went through. I didn't hear you, Ned. You've never had those pisses?
No.
Oh, you're.
No. I mean,
I'm more normal, like
I'm more like I guess when I'm drinking. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've had many a different kinds of pisses when I drink, that's for sure. So.
Sorry, guys.
Hey, drink them up. There are no rules.
That was the last one.
There are no rules and the backstage pass. So welcome to the Terror Dome here, man. This is where we hang. Dude, you guys kind of ruined a lot of the conversation already because you guys have been so fucking chatty outside.
I know, that's literally what I was thinking too.
But that's all right. We'll bring
those back.
We'll bring back some of those topics. Right. The funny. What was the one we were just talking about upstairs? Well, we started talking about music at first and the rap stuff. So I am very unfamiliar with the new rap game because I'm fucking old. So, explain to me some of these artists that you guys were talking about out there earlier.
See, I think you're just like me, for real, but like in a different way. Like the music you listen to and the way I see you vibe out to it is kind of like the way I vibe out to the new rap nowadays.
Okay.
But it's not like... It's very different with you. Like with both you guys, actually, I've noticed is that I'm not like very, was it musical literate, or I don't even know how to word it, but the way you guys listen to music isn't the same way I do. It's less passionate with me. It's more of a, can I like...
Yeah, but see, that's passionate. If you can feel the beat and you understand the lyrics and it touches you inside and you understand what they're talking about, that's vibing to it, man. I mean, correct?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
See, this is where we're gonna butt heads, is because like the new music, they don't really have much of a message other than drinking.
New rap.
Nah.
Or bring one up.
J. Cole. J. Cole.
See, no, don't bring him up.
No, you can't bring
No, you can't bring him up. I meant a mumble rapper.
Oh!
Okay? Like
no,
you're 21 Savage.
No, okay, you can't argue that.
Okay, 21 Savage is a great example.
He's more of a...
He's more of a vibe.
Okay.
It's not like nobody listens to the message these fucking rappers are bringing these days. Nobody.
Is there really a message though?
No, yeah, exactly. Like it's words, but like the way they use those words with the beat is how I vibe. Like,
okay. And hey,
maybe it does have to do with frequency or something like that.
No, actually, so what my dad taught me back in the day, and this was when I was like probably 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, was you have to listen past the music. So there's a wall. They put up a wall of music.
Oh my gosh!
If you can hear the music past it and hear the story, and if you close your eyes, and if the singer is telling you a story, and you can picture it in your mind, then you've experienced the music at a different level than just coming in here and trying to process it. So to me, that's how I listen to music. Is I try to get past all of the wall of noise that they put up, because behind that is a story. But if they're just mimicking words that go to a beat, then I don't know what is 21 Savage. What is he?
I think, wasn't he part of like the 3 rapper guys?
I thought he was solo.
Yeah, I think he might be solo.
He just does a lot of features, is how I gathered.
No, he does.
Because you don't really see him making, like, he does make singles by himself. It's just that he's more known for his features. Is how I see him.
So basically, he's on everybody's song.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
like
he does a guest appearance on a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Like that Post Malone song. What the fuck was that called? Psycho or something like that?
Yeah, the big one.
See, I know Psycho. I know that. See, I don't mind Post Malone as much as, because I mean, he actually is talented. I mean, he can play guitar and he can sing and he can rap, and I'm not big on the face tattoo look, but it is what it is.
He is doing country music right now.
I know, that's
that in itself should be a fucking an achievement right there. Is because
Beyonce did a country album.
He made you know what I mean though. Like he made a great pop album, but then he transitioned and fucking made a great country song, and he's still making them too. Is that like like people are still listening to them, and you know, you got to give it to Post Malone. I
tell you what, he's on tour right now with fucking Jelly Roll.
I would pay.
I don't care. I don't care too much for the Jelly Roll.
I don't like Jelly Roll that much.
The only reason why I don't like Jelly Roll is because he had that like God give me a favor, whatever it was.
Yeah,
and it
plays 5 times a day at work.
Yeah,
do me a favor. Yeah. I need a favor, but you know, I'm all right. You know what? Like I said, it's not that, you know, I talk about I don't like country music. It's not that I don't like country music, because I mean, there's even country music shit on here somewhere. I know there's got to be a couple of them somewhere.
I was gonna say,
this
man,
is all 80s, 90s.
See, I don't mind like
Chris
Toby
Stapleton.
Keith, Luke Bryan.
Chris Stapleton has a fucking beautiful voice.
Some of those. Oh, Chris Stapleton.
When I heard his was it Tennessee Whiskey?
Yeah,
dude, I was like, man, this guy has to be getting fucking laid with this song. Like, he has to be getting laid with this song, because that voice is beautiful.
That isn't an original song.
Yeah, and no, what I'm talking about is the voice.
Yeah, the voice.
Oh man, that voice is crisp and beautiful.
That's actually a 1970s country song done by an artist named David Allan Cole.
David Allan Cole?
Yeah. That was the original version, but Chris Stapleton took that song and made it his own because
He
nobody
did.
even knew that
Nobody
was
even like.
Sure,
I still don't even know that. Well, now I do, but you know what I mean.
But we were talking about that earlier outside too. We were talking about how we don't necessarily care for cover songs or remixes or stuff like that. Well, the topic was brought up, but now if you think about it, that's a cover. That's a great cover.
Yeah,
because he made it his own. Same thing with like Five Finger Death Punch with Bad Company or Blue on Black.
Yeah,
they took Blue on Black and made it their own.
Right. Blue on Black, yeah, definitely.
Now Kenny Wayne Shepherd's version
I like
of it,
the original better.
I
like them both.
There are people out there that do appreciate the originals because I've met some, like Zombie from Bad Wolves or whatever. Yeah, Cranberries
version is
like
okay.
People still love it though.
I personally think that Bad Wolves did a better version of the song.
I think what you're doing is you're typically looking at like a cover of something like that as acoustic, or they soften it up.
Yeah.
Whereas like what Zombies or the Cranberries got changed into was they were changing genres.
Oh, 100% changed genres.
It wasn't.
They went from alternative to hard and heavy metal.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's where most of the bad covers come from. Is they take
Britney
a song and make it softer,
or Celine Dion or one of these country artists that tries to sing Pour Some Sugar on Me. Somebody tried to sing Pour Some Sugar. Country artist. Okay, look, you can't go that way.
That's what I hate about the country nowadays is that they're really trying to fucking. It almost seems like they're just putting these songs in a fucking hat and just
they're
grabbing it out of there and like, let's remix this one because a lot of them don't need to be remixed at all.
Yeah,
and
we talked about that outside. There's certain songs you just don't need to cover it.
Yeah,
or you don't need a remix of it. You were talking about Neon Moon.
Yes,
yeah,
like
the original was really good by Brooks and Dunn. They didn't need to do a new version of it, but that's just my personal opinion.
I don't like the new version at all.
See, my brother-in-law, who's been on the podcast a couple of times, he's in a band, and they're in a cover band. And he's like, so I really can't talk shit about covers because that's what we do. But he said, I also just don't like cover songs. Right. He said, we're doing it differently because we're playing the music, not trying to sound like them. We're just playing the songs. He's like, you can't necessarily replicate or duplicate the sound of another band. You can only play their music. It's all, we were talking about it, it's feeling.
Right.
It's feeling. That's really what music is it's feeling. You were talking about that, about playing guitar. I have a guitar. I don't know how to play it. I've tried. You said you've tried.
Yeah.
My fingers,
I do it.
my two hands don't work together that way.
Right.
My brain.
Yes.
I did learn one song on bass guitar because it's really easy. LaGrange by ZZ Top.
Oh, sure.
It's 3 notes. I can play that. I felt cool as shit when I was like, even
trying to play "Woman" by Wolfmother on a guitar. Like it sounds so basic. Like I've tried it. I'm not gonna lie because I like that song.
Yeah.
You know what?
I remember when Wolfmother came out, man. That was some. That
when
shit
did
was.
it was 90s?
No, that would have been 2003, 2004.
Yeah.
Because I owned a video game store at the time, and I had the music always playing down there, and that CD came. Somebody gave me that CD to put in the CD player, so I had it playing all the time, and that was a great CD.
Yes.
I haven't heard "Woman" in forever.
Dude, I fucking love that song. And I'm surprised I don't put it on my playlist because, gosh, that song is a vibe too. I'm not gonna lie, like playing. That was one of my favorite songs playing on Guitar Hero. And I see that you have one up there too.
Of course, I have the jailbroke Guitar Hero, so I can download any song. I have Einstein Kills up on Guitar Hero.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, cool. It's hard as fuck. I tell you what, it's hard as fuck.
I might not get along with my older brother right now, but I'm gonna give him a shout out because, like, Guitar Hero 2?
Oh yeah.
He 5-starred every song on that game. Literally every song.
So you remember that South Park episode where they broke 1,000,000 points?
Yeah, he was him, bro.
Gay.
Yeah, dude. But gosh darn, because he was one of the reasons why I was so big in Guitar Hero, because I was trying to be as good as him.
Hey.
And I'm like, I was only like fucking, actually like 3 notches behind
Yeah, I'm
him.
not good at it. I can play guitar, but
See, yeah, like a lot of people that can play guitar, yeah,
because they want to go
yeah.
Go red, blue, green, red, blue, green, red, blue, green, red.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we actually used to have Guitar Hero parties at the house where
For sure.
I'd have my DJ sound system and light show set up, and we would have the whole band set up, the 2 guitars, the drums, the singer, mic stands, and we'd play all fucking night. We'd play 6, 7, 8 hours down in my basement.
It was that big back then.
It was gigantic.
It was.
We had a thing in Park Rapids. It was called the Try Game-a-thon, and you'd bring a whole bunch of computers and you'd play CS:GO, all sorts of stuff there, and then you'd bring everybody would have an Xbox. There'd be an Xbox room. Everyone would play Halo, Gears of War, all that. And there was some nights where there'd be Rock Band and Guitar Hero, and there was some guys there that they wouldn't even face the TV. They'd face away like they're playing on stage, and you could see it projected on the back. And they were hitting it note for note and not looking at it.
Can you imagine getting on that level?
What is wrong with you guys? That was insane. But yeah, that's something we would do at the end of every trimester, once a year. Yeah. There'd be a whole thing where you'd stay up all night, close down the whole church, and hundreds of kids would just chill at a church playing video games.
I never was that good at it. I play it on easy and medium just because I like the music. I don't fucking get into all the... My fingers don't... I don't want my fingers to move this fast. I want to go red.
You got to find a way to do it. I don't know how people can do the whole green and then move down
to orange. I can't hit...
I can't do that with my pinky. My pinky don't move like that.
I don't hold my pinky like this with my T.
See, how I do it is I move one down and then I use this finger for the green and red. Just like back and forth like that. So much easier. My brother over there, though, actually, when he was playing Jordan, he would hold the bottom key with his thumb, and he'd go like this with the rest of it.
He was Lord, fucking nerd!
And he 5-starred that song. Damn. He was a nerd. In watching him do it, I'm like, fuck, man, I ain't getting this level.
No,
but I'm glad I'm as good as I am now. Like, fuck.
Saying that like that, like using all 5 of your fingers on guitar. I think there's like 2 guitarists that I've ever seen do something like that. There's
no way that
there was Jimi Hendrix. I'm pretty sure used all 5 fingers playing guitar.
Oh yeah,
he learned
that's not even surprising.
Upside down and backwards. And then there was what was it? He's a smooth
Steve Vai.
I'm sure Steve Vai does, but is a John Mayer.
Oh yeah, John Mayer. He uses his thumb a lot. No,
Neon Lights or whatever. He plays in such a weird tone. John Mayer is extremely underrated and very talented, but
I agree 100%. I don't listen to a whole lot of John Mayer, even though I don't turn it off if it comes on the radio. But I think I've got a couple of John Mayer CDs somewhere in this basement.
Yeah. I only like a couple of his songs, but the ones I do are live, and it's insane what
it's all about the live. With me is if you can play it the way it sounds, or even better live than it does on CD, then that's the reason why I pay the $100 and something to go to the concert.
Right.
Concerts are where I listen to music pretty much 24/7, but the experience of seeing them perform it live. Oh shit! An alien fell over. By the way, I believe in aliens, so you'll see that with. I'm all about aliens, lizard people.
They're not aliens; they're demons.
Lizard peoples. See, they're everywhere. Oh, you guys see this? My son made that with his 3D printer.
That is cool.
Yeah. He's like, you need something for your studio here. And And my daughter made that. Yeah, I
That's
love my
cool
room.
too.
That was cool.
Mary made this. It's a fucking ashtray.
You guys got a 3D printer here?
No, she does this with resin.
Oh, wow.
Resin pour, yeah.
That's-
No, she's going to end up with a 3D printer. I know she will. Let me show the camera. World. Mary's creation. Looks like it's got... It's like, God, get them last flakes out of there and shit. You see all the...
Right,
She did that shit on purpose.
right, yeah.
And then, of course, my R2-D2, my favorite character from Star Wars.
I think he's in all of them.
He was.
Can you guys do a scream?
Can you?
Because I'd love to hear it. No, I can't. I mean, I can try.
There.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he does anything else. I don't know. I got him at a garage sale for $0.25. So
Right there.
here, I got a present for you.
Was it one of them? Oh, there you go.
I'm gonna get him to get me one that has that though. I'm gonna get everybody on that bitch.
That's
That's
awesome.
funny.
Yeah, he did that with his 3D printer too. Yeah, Mary made this for me.
I like that orange amplifier.
Yeah, I bought that for because the table, you got to have knickknacks on the table.
Right.
You know,
The-
my granddaughter made she knows I like mushrooms, so she made me a mushroom guy. Of course, I'm all about serenity. Got my crystal ball.
Yeah, knickknacks definitely tell a lot about you, for sure.
You know, I mean, you can see peace and harmony, man. I'm all about, just relax, man. And if you get out of hand, fucking shooter gnome's gonna take you out.
There you go, right?
That fucking looks like Happy doing what he's doing.
So, let's talk about UFC
Ooh.
or boxing in general, because we were kind of discussing that outside a little bit earlier. You said pound for pound favorite fighter is Anderson Silva.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
the Spider was bad. He was a bad man.
Dude, he had everything. He had the hands and he had the fucking legs. Like the feet. The feet.
He could kick like a motherfucker.
That's
He could
true.
kick like a mofo.
There's that one time he kicked a guy too. Didn't he break his leg?
He broke his own leg kicking somebody.
Yeah.
Just dangling there.
Yeah.
He throws them strong. He just threw them strong.
Mine is Canelo. I think Canelo is the best pound for pound boxer that's in any division right now in boxing. The guy, I mean, I know he's lost a couple of fights, but
Right.
you got to lose. You got to lose every once in a while to remember what it feels like to be back on top. Because if you live on top the whole time, dude, you're gonna start. You got to lose. Got to have one whooping every once in a while.
He's going to fight Crawford here soon,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the next fight.
Dude, I'm looking forward to that one, actually. Hell yeah. Mine was Conor McGregor.
When is Canelo's next fight? September 13th, 2025 against Terrence Crawford.
A couple more months.
So him and Crawford in September.
No,
well, you can watch that on pay-per-view on Rave TV.
Yes.
Plug. And I'll get you hooked up with Rave TV too.
Conor McGregor
was your favorite.
Was. No. He was added. Okay. It just like Jose Aldo never stopped being my favorite at all. Greatest featherweight in the world.
Oh, 100%.
So, yeah, definitely right now. But, goddamn, when the Conor McGregor knocked him out, it's one of those things where, like, you were devastated, but, man, you got to give it to him. Like, he did it. Like, in the fact that he was practicing it backstage, dude. And to watch somebody doing it now, like,
Ilya's a bad man.
Yes.
Ilya's a bad man. He made Oliveira look like he didn't even belong in the ring.
Devastated.
I actually thought Oliveira was gonna win.
Did you?
I did. I thought because of his constant pressure, he's always putting pressure on, and that wears you down. But Ilya knew what to do.
He's a technical boxer. He was getting he changed his. He said he was changing his game plan since Oliveira doesn't backstep. He knew Oliveira was going to be aggressive the entire time, so Ilya said he was going to counter him instead. So
that's all he did was counter him for the first minute and a half.
That's all he did, and then he knocked his ass out.
Oh, that was a straight knockout too. When he hit the ground, his eyes were rolled back. He had no idea where he was. That wasn't he got knocked down. He might be able to.
No, he got knocked out.
As they say in Friday, you got knocked the fuck out.
For real.
Yeah. Actually, I have a question for you. So what song made you want to pick up the guitar and play? My brother-in-law told me.
I don't think it was a song. It's more of a band.
What band?
Oh, this is
Green Day.
Really?
Yeah.
Green Day?
Yeah.
Okay. No.
Which one?
As a kid, I
like
which Green Day? Yeah.
No. I meant like which song? I meant
which song?
Like which song like brought you to like man, this is. Like, I tried doing that too. Like,
I guess when I first started, the easiest, you go with what's easy first, and then you take on what you can after that.
So basically the 3-chord songs.
Wake Me Up When... Yeah, right, because Green Day was really good at that, But they did have some intricate stuff, like Basket Case.
Oh, yeah.
Was was one of their greatest pieces of art, because the guitar was played like a basket case. There's no rhythm to it. That's where that's the tougher part of Green Days. You have to remember how it's played, and it's not the same. There's no pattern to it, and that's what I liked about Green Days. There's some art to what they made, whereas people like 21 Savage, it's you're there for the vibe and how it sounds and the feel. Whereas there's different levels to music. There's
completely different levels.
That's why I like
So Green Day was really the inspiration why you wanted to pick up a guitar.
Yeah, it was the first one, and I guess I grew up Baptist, real strict Baptist, so I didn't have a whole lot of access to a lot of music growing up. It was the Beatles, Jimi Hendrix, but Jimi Hendrix isn't somebody you look at as like, oh, I could learn that real easy.
Yeah, you can't. No, he played by feel.
Very hard, hard, and then Aerosmith was the other one I was able to listen to. Otherwise, I had to. What happened is I was on a school bus on a field trip, and flipping through a CD catalog, and I saw American Idiot on one of them. I was like, try this one. It seems harmless, basic, pop it in. And I didn't like any of the songs, and I got hooked on, what was it? Give Me Novocaine. It has that really... like it's almost like a ukulele he's playing on. And then it just punches you with the hard rock, and then goes back to being nice and soft. And I really liked that. It was the give and take to that.
So you grew up in a Baptist family, but they listened to the Beatles?
Very, very few stuff. So it couldn't... Like Black Sabbath wasn't on the list because they hailed Satan, and Kiss and all that type of stuff too was... definitely on the chopping block, so it was restricted on what I couldn't listen to.
Okay, and what was your? I mean, what is your first memory of music that made you realize you were gonna want to vibe to music?
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie, it was just like. Okay, the Now One CD.
All right.
Oh, hey, man.
Now One.
I played a lot of...
I never had access to music. But, listening to other music, that's one thing. But, actually being able to sit there and listen to your own music is another thing. Right. And that was one of the CDs I had access to. Oh, actually, this is a great answer. Okay. Corn.
Oh,
Corn.
Trevor. Corn.
Okay. Me, my brothers, and my older brother, technically my cousin, but he made my childhood whole. we'd go downstairs. We had a big basement. It was just spacious the whole way around. And there was a lot of things down there, so there was a lot of places to hide. So we'd turn off the lights all the way down there, and we'd leave the door open from upstairs so we can see a little light.
Yeah.
And we'd play hide and seek. And if you can make it upstairs, you were okay. But he had to come look for you. And we'd listen to Korn. Falling Away From Me, Got the Life, you know that CD? Yeah. In a haunted ass basement at that. That's what tripped me out, is that I didn't know the basement was haunted when I was a kid, but hearing about it. But gosh darn, those were memories. That Korn.
We can swear on this channel.
Sorry.
Gosh darn it.
Gosh darn it.
Korn, that's interesting.
Yeah, I would have guessed that.
I saw Korn live. They were awesome live. They were great live. I remember when I gave you a ride home and we were talking about like Tupac and Biggie and stuff. So to me, I think Tupac should have been around longer. I love Tupac. I think Tupac is one of the greatest rappers.
At least 10 more years.
At least give me to the 2000s at least, not 96. I mean, fuck, he didn't even have.
Imagine if you had the technology you did now.
Oh, Jesus Christ. He'd still be making great albums.
Oh, yeah.
I miss Tupac. You know, and I guess I wasn't as big of a Biggie fan. I like a couple of songs, but I never really owned I owned everything Tupac has ever done. Even the shit he made after he was dead. Make sure I'm on my camera. I don't think Tupac's dead. I think he's living in Cuba. Personally, that one picture of that dude that looks like him, I was like, yeah, that's Tupac. That's Tupac all the way. Yeah, so this board, so most of these artists on here, there's a reason why they're on here. Obviously, Olivia Newton-John Physical, because I probably masturbated to that when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
I love Tom Petty.
Right here.
Obviously, Beastie Boys are probably in my they're one of my top 3 albums of all time. Fucking love the Beastie Boys. Prince, I've seen Prince a couple of times live. Bon Jovi, I've seen a couple of times live. Zeppelin, Lita Ford, Billy Idol.
You watched Guns N' Roses?
I love Guns N' Roses. I've seen GNR like 3 or 4 times.
Did you? Wait.
Yeah.
There is Slash and Miles Kennedy. Have you heard them?
Oh yeah, I love Slash and Miles Kennedy stuff.
Yeah.
I like Miles Kennedy though. Miles Kennedy's got a absolutely great voice.
The Alter Bridge.
Yeah. You know how you said you don't much listen to country music? I want to at least see an Alan Jackson concert before I die.
Alan Jackson, see now I don't mind like Alan Jackson and Toby Keith and Travis Tritt and that 90s and 2000 country. You know, that was because at least then it was still somewhat country. But, you know, this new stuff now, it's basically just pop rock and classic rock, Southern rock.
This is why I wish I grew up in the 80s.
I like Morgan Wallen a lot.
It seemed like it felt so much more real than it does now. Like more authentic.
Oh, the 80s was absolutely a great
people
decade.
Are still listening to 80s music and 90s music.
Well, it's because
kids are listening to 80s music and 90s music.
My grandkids know all that shit just because, you know, I played it, their dad played it, and there's a country on here, Sammy Kershaw. I love Sammy Kershaw. I've seen him live. He was good.
Sound good.
What does he sing?
Don't Go Near the Water. He sings Yard Sale. He sings She Don't Know She's Beautiful.
Oh, okay. That's the only one I recognize.
Nirvana.
Prince, one of my favorite artists there too. Loverboy. Yeah.
A lot of good ones on.
Yeah, there's some good artists on here. Of course, the original 4 Kiss members. That was a big day for me there when I got, because I went as every one of those characters every year for Halloween.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, for like probably 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, probably. So,
You guys dress up for Halloween?
I used to.
No?
I don't anymore.
No?
I did.
Man.
Well, I take that back. I pretty much did every year, but that was because I was in the entertainment business, so I always DJ'd Halloween parties, so I'd always dress up for the Halloween party, but I never went to a party on Halloween if I wasn't DJing it. Let's just put it that way.
You know, you could make a good Uncle Fester.
I almost there. I got the dark circles.
Yeah, there you go. All you need is the fucking get up, bro. That's it.
Just turn your head like this.
Mr. Mario over here. You can be Mario.
There you go.
Short, I actually got to shave. I got to shave soon.
No, just short. And you got
you
the
guys
mustache,
keep talking for
bro.
a second. I'm gonna go fill up
You
my
got
water.
you got the mustache for it.
Yeah.
That's the only. I guess your height does have a little thing to do
Yeah.
with it, but
I haven't taken my mushroom yet.
Yeah, dude. That's why I do shrooms.
Right, yeah.
Just kidding.
Right.
No, I'd say I could be your Luigi, but I'm too fat.
Not enough green in you.
Yeah, not enough green. I'm not tall and skinny. Am I tall? Because I don't think 5'11" is tall. But then
Taller than me.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's taller than me, you know.
I'm sorry, I make short jokes. I just thought we were like good friends enough. Like if you're not cool with it,
No,
like,
I
I get it. I do get it. I just try to bullshit with you.
Okay.
And plus, every time I pulled them, go ahead. Every time I pulled them, they made you laugh. So
No, I don't.
Thank you.
They don't bother me.
There. I got a refill on my water. So yeah, funny story. So I ordered this microphone, this brand new microphone, right? And it said it wasn't going to be here until like the end of fucking July. I'm like, you know what? I just canceled the order, got my money back. Go out, fucking mailbox this morning. Fucking thing's in my mailbox, so I got it for free.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope.
Fuck yeah. So now I got a third microphone that I ordered because I canceled this one to order another one that looks just like that one. Now that one's on its way, so I'll just, once that one gets here, I'll just send it back because I don't need a third one.
Right.
So, yeah, no, so this, you wouldn't even believe what this basement looked like.
no, I get it. Like that's what I was just thinking too. Like
It was all concrete brick like that.
this looks nothing like I bet it looks like if all this stuff was down.
Yeah. I was actually going to move this in that room and then move that room out here so I had more room.
Yeah.
But then I thought that'd be a little cramped because that desk would literally almost have to sit right on top of the table here in order for it to fit in that room in there. So I'm like, we'll just leave it in here. That'd be cool to actually have it in a room, but
No,
it looks
this
even
place
better
is
when all the
beautiful.
lights are off and just the black lights are on because then all this shit glows. But you can't do a podcast with it that way.
No, I love your setup, dude.
Thank you, man.
This definitely works.
And what do you think of the Zen Den?
That's
Isn't that a place to relax?
10 out of 10. This is. Oh man!
How about this?
Man, you're zen in.
Crawford Canelo. You just come over that night. We'll watch it here in the Zen Den.
Oh yes, okay.
And if you want to come over that night, watch.
Heck yeah, you live closer anyways, so
Yeah.
it'd be like what? Like
I'll get Benson. I'll get Benson to come over too, and then after the. Oh no! You know what we could do? I'll set the cameras up in there, and we can record us talking shit about the fight, and then I'll put that up on YouTube.
Heck yeah, we can do that.
I'll get a recording of the fight, and then I'll put that up in the corner, and then I'll have us talking shit in the Zen Den about the fights. There you go. That'd be cool as shit.
Yes,
So
we can do that.
yeah, I'll let you guys know once I get this up on YouTube. Then you guys can share it with your friends and be like, See how fucking high I was?
Yeah, right? Yeah.
This motherfucker got me talking about all kinds of shit that I didn't know I was going to talk about. You know, and that actually, my brother-in-law said that after, because he did 2 of these shows with me. The first one, he's like, man, I was so nervous. He says, but somehow you ended up asking me questions that got me talking. He goes, you're a great interviewer. I'm like,
yes.
I'm like, well, you know, it's because I want to hear your opinion on something, so I'm going to ask you what your opinion is of it. Like, so earlier I showed you my guitar, and then I started talking about Stevie Ray Vaughan, who Stevie Ray Vaughan is literally the reason why I love music. I was listening to music, probably not even on my camera. I was probably on yours the whole time. I was listening to music, but I never experienced music like I did when my dad took me to see him live in St. Paul. I was there to see a completely different group. And when he came out on stage and this noise came out of the speakers, fuck, I was done. That was the rest of my life. I literally know every word to every song Stevie Ray Vaughan has ever done. I think he is one of the greatest blues guitarists that ever lived. So I have no idea where I was going with that.
Stevie Ray Vaughan is the greatest thing
since sliced bread.
Yes.
Since Betty White, because Betty White's older than sliced bread.
Look that person up after this.
It should.
Oh, we were talking about something. Fuck, I am high.
It's okay.
What is that song? She's my sweet little baby.
Pride and Joy.
Yeah, that's the one.
She's my sweet little
you
baby.
Know Pride and Joy. I'm just a little boy.
He's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
You know it.
I got some Stevie Ray Vaughan in the CD player. Once we get done with this, we'll go into the Zen Den and I'll hit play on some Stevie Ray. He's a white man that can play the blues better than anybody I've ever heard, because I've heard stories where he played to the point where his calluses on his fingers came off, and he went backstage and super glued the calluses back on so he could keep playing. To me, that's dedication.
Well, that's not the only thing. I seen him once on I think it was Saturday Night Live. It wasn't Saturday Night Live, but one of the late night shows. And he was playing live, and you could see one of the strings snapped. It was one of the low E's snapped. And he was able to continue to play the song while having a broken string.
Yeah.
Now, usually when you play and you have a broken string, me personally, I'm like, all right, we're done. Stop.
Sorry.
But to be able to fluently play the song, not panic with a broken string and keep going, I think that there's something to that in its own.
He pulls the guitar behind him and he's playing back here. Like, I'm like, how in the... It's I know it's muscle memory.
Yeah.
That's all it is. But the fact that you can do that, the ambidextrous thing, because like it's hard enough playing it here, let alone playing it behind you and not even looking at what the Guitar Hero dudes that can literally stand there and stare at you while they're playing the game. To me, okay, you just showed me that you have a lot more time on your hands than I do,
right?
Because you can learn that shit. Where I wish I would have learned how to play the guitar.
One can argue that they feel it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what it is. I mean, when you start a song as a band, you go 1, 2, you do your count yourself in. You don't keep counting after that, right? No. You feel out the band. The drummer holds your rhythm, and then your singer and your guitarist and your bass all just kind of form a unity, right? And they band together and make something beautiful out of it, and that's all out of feel. So really, all in all, it's taking that feel from the band, from them feeling it out, bringing it to us.
So my biggest thing that I believe that we live in a simulation, and that's a whole other topic that we can get into another day.
That will be hours.
But I do personally believe that this is a video game. This is a simulation that somebody created 4 point something billion years, whatever your fucking belief is on whatever. But who back in the day, the first time they heard a noise and went, ooh, that's amazing. How you can take an instrument that makes a lot of noise when you strum the strings, but it sounds good. But why does your brain not take, like, that noise that's going off in the background? That could have been music to us if somebody would have heard that back in the day and said, ooh, I like that sound, instead of listening to the guitar or the drums or somebody singing. I'm glad that somebody decided to go with what we have now for music, because could you imagine if we had to listen to classical music all our lives? I mean, don't get me wrong, classical music is good, but I kind of like Metallica a little bit better than classical music, and I would rather hear Metallica than Beethoven.
Midnight Sonata is good. But
Midnight Sonata is very good.
So many times.
Well, like, imagine being there since the beginning of the progression.
In the beginning.
In the beginning. Two
I'm trying to think of
showing battle.
No, you know,
seriously.
In the beginning, when somebody took a string, put it, stretched it out tight, and went doing.
And then they
shit, that sounds kind of good.
Maybe another, like a thicker version will make a different tone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So then all of a sudden you have, I mean, you know, back to the Utes and the ukuleles and all those, like the Irish song that was playing earlier that had 3 or 4 different stringed instruments in it. You know, it wasn't electric guitar back in the day, obviously, because they didn't have electricity until the 1900s. So back in that day, everything was a stringed instrument. You know, your bass guitars and your cellos and all this stuff. So stringed instruments have been around for a long time, but who thought, let me see if this sounds good to the ear, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, you have Moonlight Sonata, you know,
Right.
or a horn. How do you decide to bend a piece of metal to a certain way to make it have a horn sound?
Goat horn. Started with the goat horn. They did that call, right? And they're like, well, these are breaking all the time. Can we make this out of metal?
Yeah.
I'm sure that's...
No, that's had to have been it. The Vikings probably had a Gallahorn or something that they were blowing, and they were like, well, that thing, what if we made it smaller and we could carry it with us instead of having, you know, and so anyway, that's the kind of shit that I think about when I sit down here in the basement is well, aliens for one. I think about aliens all the time.
Yeah.
I think about aliens 24/7. There's an alien among us at work. I know there is. There's got to be. Somebody there's an alien.
Think so?
Yeah. I just haven't picked him out yet.
I think it's Ryan.
It's
It's Ryan.
Could be.
It's Ryan.
Shapeshifters, man.
No, I was just kidding.
Shapeshifters.
If they are, they're upstairs.
They are. It's an upstairs person, 100%.
For sure, yeah.
It's 100%. Somebody upstairs is an alien. They're the overseers with their little...
You're laughing now, but bro has aliens just chilling
I'm
over here.
serious. They're gonna. Hey, look, when they come down, I'm gonna be like, man, I've been believing in y'all motherfuckers forever. So be nice to me.
Bro's
warm
gonna
up
be like, hey.
warm up the probe before you stick it in.
Hey, why did you guys leave me behind?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have this invention called Vaseline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And warm water.
Yeah.
Heat that fucker up before you stick it in there. Orifices.
Yeah.
No. Oh, okay, back to the whole music thing.
Yeah, the music.
I was. That's one of the reasons why you should never underestimate anybody, is because somebody created that shit. You know what I mean? Like, this guy, out of nowhere, bro's a guitarist. That is awesome.
Oh, he sent me his song. You should send him your song that you did for me, or not for me. You sent me one.
There's one.
So nice of you.
Mixed song.
Mixed song. That's he did a song just for me. It's called Asshole. No, Dennis.
I bet it sounded beautiful.
Dennis Leary actually already did a song called Asshole. It was my theme song for many years. No, never underestimate somebody. Just like it goes back to sports. It goes back to fighting. It goes back to music. I don't actually hate any music because I am not a musician. I have never created a song other than through AI, which all I did was just tell it what to do, and it created it. So I didn't actually do anything. But so I can't talk because I mean, I can't sing. And I mean, obviously, if I could sing, I'd be in a band because I love music that much. So never underestimate somebody because you never know what their skill is. And they're like, you know, this guy here can play a mean guitar.
I can play better electric. I think all the stuff I have up is acoustic.
Yeah.
Most of it, but I do have a my Strat. It's like yours but blue and all stickered up.
So you definitely know how to play Thunderstruck then.
A version of it. It's harder than you think.
Is it?
Thunderstruck is a tricky one to play correctly.
Okay.
Most people say they can play Thunderstruck. Don't typically play it right because they'll either be doing it with a pick or when they hammer it off, they're not doing it correctly, and they're just there's tone to it, and to do it right, typically you'll hear them like buzz the lower E string, or it'll sound like trash. Me personally, that's why I say I play a version of it because I can't play it as well as AC/DC can. Whereas like
in the middle of a railroad track.
Right.
Yeah, bro.
If you gave me like what's it called? You Shook Me All Night Long.
Yeah.
I can play that one pretty much no problem.
But there's not really a lot of feeling to that song. Where
Oh, sure there is. You
just ain't feeling it.
Yeah.
well, I've also been playing that song for 30 something years as a DJ, so
I don't know, man. I have tried vibing with people that have vibed to that song. And the only reason I wasn't able to is because I haven't really listened to
you know
it
that song is
much.
that song is 45 years old now. It came out in 1980.
Almost half a century.
Half a century old.
Not that big.
So if you go
It was
back
like 20 years old when I started hearing
So
it.
if you go back 45 years from when that song came out, you were listening to jazz.
Damn.
What about
1935?
What's his name?
Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., all that kind of stuff. That was what was
I listened to
popular
them, too.
45 years before AC/DC's Back in Black came out in 1980.
Johnny B. Good. What about him?
Oh, Chuck Berry, that was 1958. So that was 20 years.
Yeah.
That was 20 years.
Here's a great question. What genre do you think is blowing up now? And what genre do you think is dead now?
Damn.
And
Rock and
I
roll.
will go with what's dead now is rock and roll, and what's good now is I don't even want to say pop. I really don't.
I mean, pop's always
But
been on
it's always
you can't say pop.
So-
because pop is popular music. It's always going to be the number one.
My
so like soft
feeling
rock,
on rock.
right? Is it even really called rock anymore?
Well, there's no such. I don't think there's really. There's the problem with music nowadays is there's too many subgenres, and that's the problem. Is they have too many. You know, it's this kind of music, this kind of rock, this kind of metal, this kind of. Okay, look, you all sound the same nowadays. All the new heavy metal guys, they all sound the same. It's all AI. It's all perfect. It's all absolutely mastered to the T. To me, that's not music anymore. So
Right.
there are bands like one of my new favorite bands that I've been listening to a lot, even though they've been around since the 90s, is Blackstone Cherry.
Ooh.
Because phenomenal because they still play instruments. They still play music. They're more of a blues rock, southern rock band. My other guest, Patrick, that was on a couple of times ago, said that two of the guys in the band are actually bloodline of the Oak Ridge Boys from the country music.
Cool.
So I actually haven't looked that up, but I will someday. But
They were going to play at Monaga Midsummers.
they were supposed to, yeah. That sucks that they're not.
Yeah.
They're actually playing in August down by St. Cloud. It's like $30 a ticket. It's an outdoor thing. It's them and somebody else. Trying to talk the wife into going. It's on a Friday. I would probably just have to leave work a little early that day just to get down there in time for them. But I mean, $30 to see a band. I mean, I saw them on their first tour. My friend's band that we heard in the room there opened for them and Buck Cherry down at a place in the cities when Buck Cherry, I think, was just getting started too. Yeah, it had to have been because it was in a club no bigger than my fucking basement. But Blackstone Cherry blew me off the stage that night, but I didn't know any. I didn't follow up with them. I didn't start listening to them until like a year ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that sucks because I missed out on a lot of great music that they did. Yeah. And now I can't stop listening to Blackstone Cherry. Matter of fact, I have a CD burned in my Jeep that I listen to probably twice a week.
That's what I was going to say. It's Southern rock is what kind of they are, right? So, like, you like Kid Rock.
Yeah.
Right? And that was, when you said that, I was like, man, you absolutely love Blackstone Cherry.
Oh, I love Blackstone.
And I just didn't think about it. But, yeah, one of my favorite songs by them is a cover, and it's by the Marshall Tucker Band.
Oh, Can't You See? They killed Can't You See.
Super good.
Oh, they absolutely blew that song up.
Super good.
Yeah. But that's because the style of music that they do is pretty much the same style of music that Marshall Tucker Band was back in the 70s. Right. Southern rock,
they
100%.
Modernized it.
So back to your thing. What did you say pop music you think is the most I mean, it is the most popular right now, pop music. You're talking like your boy and girl band, your solo artists.
No, yeah. It wasn't like
Miley Cyrus, Taylor Swift.
I guess I was just like bringing up something that was very obvious, but like, I guess the new thing now might just be, I don't even want to say rap either, because that's always been.
They got away from instruments and got into computers.
Yeah, it's all computer. It's all digitalized, and that's where I am having a hard time. Like, I love like A Day to Remember and all these. I love all these bands because I like the screamo, but I also like the melodies that they do. But it's too clean. Like, if you go back and listen to old AC/DC,
sure,
when it was sloppy music,
feedback.
Oh God, that's you hear somebody miss a note. Yep. That's the kind of music I appreciate. The stuff nowadays to me is just, I listen to Nitro on Sirius XM because they play Motorhead, but they also play A Day to Remember next to each other, so I kind of get both of my things. So I would say rock is 100% right now in a dying stage. I don't think it's going to take another rock revolution like Nirvana to bring music back again. Because rock music is pretty much...
And you know who that was? Those Greta Van Fleet. And now where are they? I think they dropped another album, and I think it was a dud in my eyes.
Yeah, they sounded too much like Led Zeppelin. They were trying
That's what I liked about them.
Yeah, they were trying to bring back a sound.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it just wasn't. The world isn't ready. The world is too. Everybody needs 15 minutes of instant gratification, so everybody's gonna like a song for one day, and then they're gonna move on to something else. Nobody can sit down with one of these things and just listen to an album side cover to cover. Nobody can do that anymore because their attention spans don't last that long.
Well, it's like it's on demand now.
Yeah.
And that's what's ruining the experience, in my opinion.
So, like,
because, like,
you know this?
then you can just...
Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats? Mm-hmm. We'll put this on. This guy was trying to bring back... I'll put that on in the send in on the vinyl when we get in there. And some Stevie Ray Vaughan. Yeah. So my boy over here can listen to some SRV. And then be like... Yeah. Oh, I can vibe to that.
He had one of the most iconic guitars. I think they make copies of his guitar.
With the scratch marks and everything on it, yeah. And the SRV. So,
they make copies of how iconic his guitar is.
Well, here's how I am about music. This is why I still like radio. Is because, like, it's still spontaneous in a way. Back then, you had to buy the CD. And you appreciated it more. Now music is so much easy to obtain
I have a billion songs at my hand right here, right here.
Yeah, it's so much more to obtain.
I love that.
So I feel like people don't appreciate it more.
Yeah, no, there's no appreciation. Like, and you actually nailed it right on the head. There were before internet, there were 3 ways you were able to hear a song. Is if you bought the song either on cassette, CD, album, whatever. You went to see it live, or it came on the radio. Then when MTV came out, you got to see the music video. That was the only way you knew music back in the day. There was no streaming services, and you weren't, I mean, granted, you waited for your song. You guys aren't old enough to be where we used to stand in line at a record store the day before of a cassette or a CD came out. We would wait in line the night before to be the first one in the store to pick up Metallica Black Album. I waited in line at a Maplewood Mall in a mall, sitting on the floor for 14 hours waiting for the fucking store to open so I could buy Metallica Black on CD. Okay?
Can you imagine?
And we didn't have phones to put music in. We had our portable CD player.
Yeah, I did too.
We'd have a pocket full of batteries.
I didn't have a pocket full of batteries
because the things only lasted like 2 hours with batteries in them. Oh, they were fucking terrible in the 80s.
This is why I wish I grew up in that time, is because I appreciated all that shit. Now it's just like you can look up one song and it's at the tip of your fingers.
A song can play and I could go, "What's that song?" It'll tell me what that song is, what album it was on, what year it came out, and 9 different ways to listen to it. All I have to do is have my phone search it.
There's just a different kind of passion, I think, nowadays. Like, is there any passion nowadays in the music made nowadays?
I think, yes, you have passion, but you don't have ambition.
Yes.
Right, because you can love music, but you can't chase it like you can anymore, right?
Yeah, so with how accessible it is.
You cannot... Well, so here's a prime example. Tom McDonald, great rapper. Tom McDonald,
right.
Independent rapper, never signed with has had 30-something number 1 iTunes singles in a row or some shit like that. He's a millionaire off a YouTube rapper. Now, he's had some great songs. I don't really listen to him anymore. Actually, I didn't really listen to him a whole lot back then. But he didn't need a record label to become famous. He didn't need somebody pushing him and selling his albums to the record stores and shit. He did all this on his own. Now, I think you're right. The ambition to be a star is actually more nowadays because everybody wants to be famous. I don't want to be famous. I just like doing this because I like talking to people and I like doing my entertainment stuff because, well, it's way better than working a real fucking job because I only have to work 3 hours a day and I get paid the same. Well, who the fuck wouldn't want to do that for the rest of their lives? But if it gets away from the digital age again and goes back to the analog days, then you're going to see passion back in the music and you're going to see people that want to be ambitious and put out a unique album that, like this album right here, I don't know if you know much about the Beastie Boys, but this is Paul's Boutique. Okay, this is a double album.
Sure.
They did this for their second album, not their first, not their 8th album, their second album. They went out to California and they worked with the Dust Brothers, who are absolutely amazing computer guys. They sampled 177 different songs to make that album. Not one live instrument was used on that album. They sampled everything. That was so unique and revolutionary for the time that this was a flop. This only sold like 50,000 copies the first month it came out. And then people started to hear it going, this is fucking genius. This is well, hence the reason why it's in my top 3 albums of all time right there.
Sure.
To me, that album changed how I listen to music because I've gone on YouTube and I've typed in Paul's Boutique samples, and they will literally, there was a guy who took the original sample played that and then played the Beastie Boys part of it where it was in there. It's like a 30-minute video, but it shows every sample that was used on that album. So, you're right though. I think the ambition is gone.
You'll have people like, I don't mean to interrupt, but you have people like, for instance, we'll go back to like 21 Savage, right? You compare 21 Savage, which what he wanted to do is be a rapper. You look at his lyrics; they don't really, they sound cool. They, it's live, it's fun, it's cool. But then you compare him to a different rapper like Mac Miller. Mac Miller writes all his own music, plays piano, writes it, produces it.
Sure.
He did it all. He did the whole 9 yards, and I think that's where you have ambition versus a guy who just wants to be a rapper and make a bunch of money. You know what I mean? And you lost your Mac Millers. Now you have a whole bunch of 21 Savages.
Yeah, that can basically just go into a studio and say, "Make me a beat." Okay, there's the beat. Yeah. All right,
take it from.
Write me some lyrics that go to this beat. Okay, all of a sudden it writes lyrics to go to that beat. All right, now all he has to do is mimic those lyrics to that beat, and he made a rap song.
Yeah. Or you have people like
who was the other one? You guys were talking about Jay Dime? No.
Mike Dimes.
Mike Dimes.
Mike Dimes is actually pretty good.
I like Mike Dimes.
And white guy?
No.
Black guy.
Black.
With a name like Mike? Really?
He's from Texas. He's a Texas
Mike Dimes.
rapper.
Okay.
You should listen to him.
I will actually. I will remember that, and I will.
Stevie Ray Vaughan, Mike Dimes. I don't know how you follow that up.
So, speaking of, let's call this episode number 1 done, and we'll get us together another time. But let's go into the Zen Den here and listen to some music and vibe out. And let's vibe out a little bit because we got the work part of it done here. We had a little bit of green room time. We had a nice meal. Thank you, by the way, for bringing part of the meal, and I'm glad I could supply the other part of the meal.
Can I?
Yeah, no, you got to
ask one more question.
Sure.
Who do you think nowadays is on the same scale as Michael Jackson?
Ooh.
Taylor Swift.
Ooh.
I
Taylor
hate
Swift.
that answer, but that
is right.
That is right.
Taylor Swift.
That is right because you have
Taylor
the same
Swift.
type of following, right? Because you had the people who will die for Michael Jackson are the same people who die for Taylor
Swift.
I've seen videos of little girls fucking crying watching Taylor Swift. That's crazy.
If Taylor Swift turns, because you have to be 42 to run for president, the day she turns 42, she'll run for president, she'll win.
She would win, yeah.
And that means Travis Kelce would be the first husband.
For the vice husband.
That's crazy, but that's so correct.
But no, Taylor Swift 100% is the same. Taylor Swift is the Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley, Beatles, Nirvana of this generation. Because when Nirvana came out in 93, I mean, there was nothing. You weren't listening to anything else but grunge the minute they came out. Because there was nothing but grunge out there. Or the alternative stuff like Smashing Pumpkins. I don't consider them grunge. I consider them alternative.
No, but they were good. They're
very
good.
That's the only reason I even know that band is because my cousin grew up in that era or whatever.
See, and I started my first radio job back in 93. So I actually dropped a lot of that because I was doing public radio. I dropped a lot of that stuff before even public or mainstream radio. I was playing the Dookie album back before we had a copy of it that we got about 2 months before it came out. So I was playing Dookie on the radio. I played the Butterfly with Bullet Wings song by Smashing Pumpkins. I played that before anybody else. I used to play The Offspring. I played all that stuff back then. I had people that would record my shows on cassette that lived in the same city. I lived in Deer River at the time. And then they would come over to my house and they'd be like, all right, so why'd you play this song after this song? I'm like, because I was fucking high and that's what I wanted to listen to. Right. They were thinking that I was doing it because there was some way to program music. I'm like, look, man, I just looked at a stack of CDs and said, oh, fuck, let's listen to some Beck next. And I would put in Beck. Why? Because that's how I did it. You know, there was no format to it. But I actually had to bring a friend in to answer phones for me at a public radio station at 10 o'clock on a Sunday night because people were calling in requesting stuff. So I would have to go through the archives and try to find these CDs, or we had a closet at the radio station that was locked, but I used to always jimmy it open because that's where the new CDs would come in. So I'd go in there and be like, oh, fuck, look at that. Godsmack. No, I didn't have, that was 99. I was 93 to 95. I was just trying to think of a name. But anyway, let's call this one done for episode 1, and we'll go listen to some music in the Zen Den. Peace, love, and music, everybody. Peace, love, and music.
Have a nice time. Or something like that.
Bye. Have a nice, from that. Yeah. All right.
Have a wonderful time.
Have a wonderful time. Hey, that was an hour and 7